Hey everyone, Ramel here from Mini Arms Depot and welcome back. So in the last video that I had released, I mentioned somewhere in there that we had recently did a collaboration type of partnership with Outhouse Kustoms. And Outhouse Kustoms is currently owned by William Duquette. You guys can see his YouTube channel. He goes by the name of Evil Dookie. And go check him out. He's got a lot of cool stuff going on there on his channel. And basically, he had an idea that he should make some custom parts and pieces for the Marvel Legends motorcycles that originally came out from Hasbro. And I think there were only like 4 or 5 of them. And I think they called them the Riders Edition. So one of them is the Punisher Riders Edition. This is the black motorcycle, cruiser chopper style motorcycle that he came out with. And then this is the Wolverine version, the $40 version on Amazon, the blue one. And then there was another Captain America, which is the green one. And then 2 versions of the Ghost Rider, the one with the flaming wheels and all of that good stuff. So Will reached out to me a while back, about a month and a half ago, and we got talking a little bit and said, hey, I'm tired of seeing these stock motorcycles, and every time I try to customize them, it takes me such a long time. And despite the fact that he was making some really cool custom pieces for these bikes, he reached out to me and said, hey, is there something that we can do to make some custom parts? I really want to start customizing and make my own line per se. And so we got talking a little bit and tossed some ideas around, and basically right now came out with 3 products that will allow you to basically kit bash and customize the look of your Marvel Legends motorcycles, the ones that are stock from Hasbro, and really customize it just to how you want, right? And right now, this is just the beginning. We came out with 2 so far that I'm going to show you guys here in a minute. We're working on another one, and possibly also he's thinking of creating his own line of motorcycles, different body shapes and sizes. And again, this guy is really knowledgeable about his motorcycles. He's a biker at heart. And if you go to his channel, his YouTube channel, again, he goes by the name of Evil Dookie. He uses a lot of these motorcycles, not so much for the Marvel Legends figures, but for the Dreadnoks, G.I. Joe Classified. And he's done some really cool stuff with his custom bikes. And he paints them, he takes them apart, and he completely makes a new custom look. And these 2 new pieces that we recently came out with is just the beginning. And so let me show you guys really quick what I'm talking about. So basically, for each bike, they're all pretty much the same, even the Captain America and the Ghost Riders motorcycle, from my understanding. But I only have 2, which are the Wolverine and the Punisher bike. But basically, the handlebars just pops off on these guys. So if you pull them out, you'll see that there's a little hole there, and there's a peg on underneath these handlebars, and they come with like little hooks there. And so we designed our own. And so let me pull the one for Punisher. And so Will had the idea, hey, if we come out with our own design of handlebars, but using the same peg and hole system, I think it'll work. And so I talked to my 3D designer, and sure enough, we came out with something that just worked. And so this right here is the 3D printed piece. This is the original part from the Punisher bike. And I believe these are the ape hanger style of the handlebars right here. And basically, this is the one that's going to be used as a replacement. Or if you want, swap it out to the Wolverine bike and get rid of the stock handlebar. So if you want to put an ape hanger on the Wolverine bike, there you have it. All right. Isn't that cool? And another design that he has is, I believe this is called the T-bar. And Will, forgive me if you're watching this and I'm getting this all shit wrong. But I believe this is the T-bar. And basically, same thing. You want to put it on the Punisher bike. And maybe you don't want the ape hanger on the Punisher bike, but you want the T-bar design instead. There you go. It's as simple as that. And you are completely changing the look and feel of this bike simply by swapping out the freaking handlebars. It's so cool. And the other one that he has is the Z bar. This one I do remember because it has that Z feature or look to it. It even has the mirrors on the bottom there to make it look realistic there. So maybe you want this instead. So again, you're just going to pop it right off, and then you're going to install the new one, put it in, boom. Again, different look, totally different feel of how you want the bike to look. The second piece that he's been working on, or that we have been working on. Oh, and by the way, these will come in white color only. I think he's only selling them in white. And you can paint them if you order from him, or you can have him paint it for you based on how you want the bike painted. And I think right now he's doing commissions for people where he will paint the bike and also paint the handlebars, and at the same time customize the bike for you. So later down the line, I think his plan is to eventually move away from that business model and stop buying the Hasbro bike altogether. And he's just going to use his own bike and frame body for the motorcycle. And then you can customize, swap, and, put pieces together as you wish to come out with your own customized bike. And I thought that was a brilliant idea. But that's down the road. But for now, the second piece that he had released recently is what he calls the fairing. And again, Will, forgive me if I'm getting this all screwed up. But the fairing is basically your windshield, from my understanding. And he has two versions right now, which is this white one here, the single piece. And basically all you do is pop this guy right on there, right over the headlight of the stock motorcycle. And you now have a brand new look just by doing that. And it just pops off. Easy as that. And then pops right back on. Just like that. And it doesn't come off. It doesn't fall off. I mean, I'm shaking this guy pretty hard. And it basically just stays on there. And it's flexible enough to where, you can be pretty rough with it. And it's got some flex to it and rigidity. And basically the idea is we want it to wrap around and hug that headlight portion of the bike. So it just pops right on there. And again, you can paint it. You can have him paint it. You're going to have to talk that with him. We don't handle the sales. We only handle the manufacturing side. So pretty cool. And then this other part that he created, basically the same thing as this, but he had us create a separate piece for the actual windshield and put a clear coat on there and then paint it black. This fairing right here. And same concept is just going to go right onto the headlight, right over the headlight of the motorcycle. And it gives that brand new look in an instant. And that is pretty brilliant, in my opinion. Brilliant idea. So next up coming after this is we're going to start building a saddlebag, and that's already in the process. But the saddlebags are those bags that comes to the side of the motorcycles here, and it's basically just going to flop right on over this rear, I believe fender is what this is called, the rear wheel of the motorcycle. It's just going to flop right on there, and it's going to give it a pretty distinctive look. And I really like how this plays out, because if you compare it to the stock version, I mean, it looks cool out of the box, yes, but it looks plain, right? And if you have the motorcycle from Wolverine, Captain America, Ghost Rider, yeah, I mean, they all look plain. And I think the one from Captain America and one from the Ghost Rider versions have the windshield on the front, or the fairing. But the one from Captain America is the one from World War II, so it's quite big and it kind of goes all the way up here, right? It's not modern. And then you got the eccentric, super eccentric look from Ghost Rider, which has the flames on there. But your options are very, very limited. And so I believe this is why Will reached out to us. He got tired of seeing the limited options that you have when you want to customize these bikes. And there is a strong following for people who wants to have a custom bike, but not really have a whole lot of options, but just to paint them, right? So what Will started doing is he started taking these guys apart and started charging people on customized parts, and he would start making them from styrenes. And if you go to his channel, again, Evil Dookie, he had a couple videos on there where he showed how he took these apart and put the paint on them and shaped the styrene. He had a fairing just like this one, where he molded everything by hand, you know, and pretty tedious process. So this definitely changed the game. And it is as simple as popping this guy right on there, putting some paint if you wanted to, and adding your own custom designs. And then same with the handlebars. You know, you want to change the look, it's as simple as swapping it out, just like that. And according to Will, and this is coming from a real biker, not a poser. He is a real biker at heart. A bike is really an extension of a biker's personality and character. And so just by looking at this, it really does, because this has an aggressive look to it. This has an even more aggressive look to it. So depending on how you want your bike to look like, how you want to be perceived, you know, it's totally up to you. So giving your figures, both your Marvel Legends and your G.I. Joe Classifieds, and again, these go really well with the Dreadnought figures. And if you go to Evil Dookie's YouTube channel right now, you'll see a lot of his videos use the Dreadnought figures. And it makes absolute sense, right, for a biker gang. So that is all we have for today. We want to say a special thanks to Will and Evil Dookie for giving us this opportunity. If you want to order your piece and your pieces or your set, you're going to have to email him. His email is down in the description down below. We do not sell these anywhere. You can only find and buy them from Evil Dookie himself or Outhouse Kustoms. We are strictly just the supplier and manufacturer for these parts, and that is how our agreement works. Having said that, if you or anyone you know is interested in creating your own custom parts, not the motorcycles, but pretty much an idea of what you may have, something that we are starting to entertain little by little is to have an agreement like what we did with Outhouse Kustoms, where we can become your manufacturer. We can design and create the idea that you may have, hopefully specifically for the G.I. Joe or Marvel Legends. That way we kind of know what we're doing, and then we can have a collaboration or a partnership similar to the way we did with Outhouse Kustoms or Will. All right, so that's all I have for now. Thanks so much for being here. And if you are interested in that partnership opportunity, let me know. Drop it in the comment down below or email me info@miniarmsdepot.com. Link is also down in the description down below. Other than that, thanks so much for being here. Have a great day and God bless.